All right, so we're diving into ulcerative colitis treatments today.
Definitely.
And looks like we've got something pretty interesting here.
Yes.
Ulcerative colitis,
Yep.
or UC,
Mm-hmm.
affects, well, surprising, about 1 in 150 people around the world.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is. And it can really have a big impact on their lives.
Oh, for sure.
Right, chronic inflammation,
Right.
pain, got to go to the bathroom all the time, sometimes even bleeding.
Yeah, not fun.
Not fun at all.
Yeah.
The good news is there's this new drug in clinical trials. It's called Talisocubart.
Okay.
And early results are, well, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement about Talisocubart in the UC world right now.
Yeah.
And for good reason, I think.
Yeah.
You know, current treatments for UC,
Right.
they can be a little hit or miss.
Okay.
They don't always work for everyone.
Right.
And some of them come with a whole bunch of side effects that can be really tough to deal with.
Yeah. So finding new options is, that's really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Crucial.
So tell me a bit more about Talisocubart.
Sure.
It's a monoclonal antibody.
It is.
I'll be honest. I always get a little confused about what that actually means.
Yeah, you're not alone. A lot of people get tripped up by that term.
Okay.
Think of it this way. It's like a super specific guided missile that's designed to target a very particular part of your immune system.
Right.
And in the case of Talisocubart, its target is a protein called TL1A.
TL1A. And what's so special about this TL1A? Why is it like the enemy for people with UC?
Well, TL1A is kind of like the ringleader of the inflammatory circus that happens in your gut when you have UC.
Got it.
So it sends out signals that trigger this whole cascade of immune responses, which lead to, the inflammation, the pain, and the damage in your intestines.
Makes sense.
So the idea behind Talisocubart is to block TL1A.
Okay.
Basically, shut down the ringleader, calm things down in your gut.
So how do we know if this actually works?
That's where clinical trials come in.
Oh.
And in this case, we've got the Artemis UC trial.
Okay.
It's a large-scale phase 2 trial.
Got it.
And it was specifically designed to figure out if Talisocubart is safe and effective for treating UC.
Right.
And they had a bunch of patients from all over the world.
Oh, wow.
Which makes the results even more convincing.
Yeah, for sure. So what did they find?
Well, get this. 26%
Okay.
of the patients who got Talisocubart achieved clinical remission after just 12 weeks.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is. It's a game changer.
Yeah.
Compared to the placebo group where only 1% saw remission.
26 versus 1. That's huge.
It is huge.
But what does remission actually mean for someone dealing with UC?
It basically means their symptoms are gone.
Okay.
Or very nearly gone.
Wow.
They can, go about their day without that constant worry and discomfort of UC.
Right.
It's like getting your life back.
That's amazing.
It is.
Were there any other promising signs?
Absolutely. The trial also looked at endoscopic improvement, which means how the intestines look during an examination.
Got it.
And again, Talisocubart just knocked it out of the park.
Okay.
37% of the patients who received the drug showed significant improvement.
Wow.
Compared to only 6% in the placebo group.
So it's not just improving symptoms, it's actually helping to heal the gut.
It is.
That's incredible.
It is. And here's another interesting tidbit.
Okay.
They found that Talisocubart starts working really fast.
Oh, okay.
They saw a decrease in inflammatory markers after just 2 weeks of treatment.
Oh, wow. So people could start feeling relief pretty quickly.
Yeah, potentially.
So we're talking about significant improvement in remission, endoscopic findings, and it kicks in fast. What's not to like?
Well, remember, this is just a phase 2 trial.
Right.
It's a critical step, but it's not the final word.
Okay.
We still need larger, longer-term studies to confirm these findings and make sure the drug is safe for long-term use.
So phase 2 is like passing a big test.
Yeah.
But there are more levels to go.
Exactly.
What exactly are researchers looking for in these later stages?
It's all about confirming what we've seen so far.
Okay.
Do these positive results hold up over time? Are there any long-term side effects that we haven't seen yet?
Right.
And how does Talisocubart compare to existing treatments?
So it's like putting Talisocubart through boot camp.
Yeah.
To make sure it's ready for prime time.
Exactly.
And this is where it gets really interesting for people who are dealing with UC, right?
Absolutely.
Because participating in a clinical trial, it isn't just about helping researchers, it could actually benefit them directly.
Absolutely. For people who have tried other treatments without success,
Right.
or who are concerned about the side effects of existing medications.
Yeah.
Clinical trials can offer a real glimmer of hope.
Okay.
They get access to cutting-edge treatments that aren't available to the public yet. And they get very close monitoring from top medical experts.
So it's a chance to be on the leading edge of treatment, but also to be in really good hands.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah. And let's be honest, for people dealing with a chronic condition like UC, having a team of experts focused on your well-being can be invaluable.
Absolutely.
And that's why these clinical trials are so crucial.
Yeah.
They don't just advance scientific knowledge. They give people real hope for a better future.
I couldn't agree more. The information we get from trials like Artemis UC is incredibly valuable, not just for researchers, but for patients who are looking for new options and a chance to improve their quality of life.
So where does all of this leave us? What are the next steps for Talisocubart?
Okay, well, the next step is to move into phase 3 trials, which are even larger and longer than phase 2.
Right.
It's all about confirming what we've seen so far and gathering more data on long-term safety and effectiveness.
So it's a waiting game now, but a hopeful one.
Definitely hopeful. If Talisocubart continues to show promise, it could be a real game changer for people with UC.
That's exciting news, but it's also a reminder that these things take time.
Yes.
Clinical trials are, well, they're a long and complex process, but they're absolutely essential for making sure we're offering patients the best possible treatments.
I agree.
It really highlights how important these clinical trials are.
Yes.
Not just for developing new drugs,
right,
but for understanding how they work in real people.
Absolutely. They're the bridge between promising research in the lab and real-world solutions for patients.
Okay.
They're how we move from this might work to this is safe and effective.
You mentioned earlier that the Artemis UC trial focused on 2 groups of patients.
It did.
One was based on how severe their UC was, but the other was based on a genetic marker.
Yes.
Which I found fascinating.
Interesting.
Could you explain that a bit more?
Sure. The first group included people with moderate to severe UC who hadn't responded well to other treatments.
Got it.
Or who relied heavily on steroids.
Right.
They were chosen based on their clinical presentation, meaning how their UC was affecting them.
So the people who are really struggling to find relief.
Exactly.
What about the second group?
So the second group was chosen because they had a specific genetic marker that scientists believe might indicate a higher chance of responding well to drugs that target TL1A, like Talisocubart.
So it's almost like trying to predict who might benefit most from this specific type of treatment.
Exactly. This is where the whole idea of personalized medicine comes in.
Right.
Imagine a future where we can use genetic information to tailor treatments to individual patients, increasing the chances of success and minimizing side effects.
That would be incredible.
It would.
But did the genetic test in this trial actually predict who responded better to Talisocubart?
Well, that's where it gets a bit tricky.
Okay.
The results for the second group were positive.
Okay.
32% of those taken Talisocubart hit remission versus 11% in the placebo group.
Right.
But it wasn't as dramatic a difference as the first group.
Okay.
So more research is definitely needed.
So while the genetic test wasn't a perfect predictor in this case, it's still a step towards a future where we can be more precise with our treatments.
Absolutely. This trial was a valuable piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
It provided valuable insights into the potential of personalized medicine for UC.
And with more research, we might be able to fine-tune these genetic tests and make them even more accurate.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes you wonder what other breakthroughs are just around the corner.
You're right. The field of UC research is constantly evolving, and the more we learn about the underlying causes of the disease and how different people respond to treatments, the better equipped we'll be to develop effective and targeted therapies.
So if you or someone you know has UC, what kind of questions would you suggest asking a doctor about Talisocubart or about clinical trials in general?
That's a great question. I think the first step is to have an open and honest conversation with your doctor about your individual situation.
Right.
Are your current treatments working for you? Are you concerned about side effects?
Yeah.
What are your goals for managing your UC?
So really lay it all out on the table.
Exactly.
And see what options might be a good fit.
Exactly. And if you're curious about Talisocubart specifically, ask your doctor if they think you might be a good candidate for the upcoming phase 3 trials.
Right.
They can help you weigh the potential benefits and risks. And make an informed decision.
It's important to remember that clinical trials aren't just about testing new drugs.
Right.
They're also about providing patients with access to cutting-edge care. And close monitoring from top medical experts.
That's a crucial point. For people who have exhausted other treatment options or who are looking for more personalized care, clinical trials can be a real lifeline.
And it's inspiring to think about how participating in a trial can not only benefit you personally, but also contribute to advancements that could help countless others in the future.
It's a powerful reminder that we're all in this together. By sharing our experiences and participating in research, we can help shape the future of UC treatment and bring hope to millions of people around the world.
Okay, so let's shift gears for a minute. And talk more about what it actually means to participate in a clinical trial. I think a lot of people might be intimidated by the idea or not really understand what's involved.
It's true. There's often a lot of mystery surrounding clinical trials. But it's really not as daunting as it might seem.
What would you say to someone who's curious about trials but maybe a little hesitant?
First of all, I'd say it's amazing that you're even considering it. It's a truly selfless act to volunteer your time and experience to help advance medical research. And the more people who participate, the faster we can make progress towards better treatment.
So hats off to anyone who's even thinking about it.
Exactly.
But let's break it down a bit. What can someone expect if they decide to enroll in a trial?
Well, every trial is different. But there are some common threads. First, there's a screening process to make sure you meet the criteria for the study.
Got it.
This might involve a physical exam, blood tests, or reviewing your medical history.
So it's about making sure it's a good fit for both you and the research team.
Exactly. And if you're a good match, you'll have a chance to talk to the research team, ask any questions you might have, and get a clear understanding of what's involved before you make any decisions.
And then what? What does the actual participation look like?
Well, it varies depending on the trial. You might be asked to take the study medication or receive a placebo, undergo regular checkups and tests, and keep a diary of your symptoms. You'll be closely monitored throughout the entire process, and you'll always have the right to withdraw from the trial if you choose.
Sounds like there's a lot of support built in.
Absolutely. The researchers and medical staff involved in clinical trials are dedicated to ensuring the safety and well-being of the participants. They're there to answer questions, provide guidance, and address any concerns you might have.
So it's not like you're just a number in a study.
No.
You're actually part of a team working towards a common goal.
That's a great way to think about it. Clinical trials are a collaboration between researchers, medical professionals, and patients, all working together to advance medical knowledge and improve healthcare for everyone.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
And it makes me wonder about the ethics of clinical trials. How can someone be sure that their safety and well-being are truly prioritized?
That's a very important question. And the answer is rigorous oversight and ethical guidelines. Every clinical trial has to go through a thorough review process by an independent ethics committee to ensure that it meets the highest ethical standards.
So there are checks and balances in place to make sure everything is being done responsibly.
Absolutely. And patients always have the right to ask questions, raise concerns, and withdraw from a trial at any time for any reason. Their autonomy and well-being are paramount.
That's reassuring to know. But even with those safeguards in place, I imagine there can still be risks involved in participating in a clinical trial.
You're right. There's always a possibility of side effects. And there's no guarantee that the experimental treatment will work. It's important to have a realistic understanding of the potential benefits and risks before making a decision.
So it's about weighing those factors carefully and having an open and honest conversation with your doctor to see if a clinical trial is the right choice for you.
Exactly. It's a personal decision. That should be made with all the facts in hand. But for many people, the potential benefits of participating in a trial, both for themselves and for the advancement of medical science, outweigh the risks.
It's amazing to think about the impact that clinical trials have had on healthcare over the years.
It's truly remarkable. Virtually every medical treatment we have today,
wow,
from antibiotics to vaccines to cancer therapies, has been rigorously tested and refined through clinical trials. They are the foundation of evidence-based medicine.
And yet, I think a lot of people still have misconceptions about clinical trials.
Yeah.
They might picture sterile labs and cold, impersonal settings.
That's a common misconception.
Yeah.
In reality, clinical trials take place in a variety of settings.
Right.
From hospitals and clinics to research centers and even doctors' offices.
Okay.
And the people involved are passionate about their work and dedicated to providing compassionate care to the participants.
So it's not as intimidating as it might seem from the outside.
Not at all. In fact, many people who participate in clinical trials find it to be a positive and empowering experience. They feel like they're contributing to something bigger than themselves.
Right.
And they appreciate the close attention and care they receive from the medical team.
It's a reminder that behind every breakthrough, behind every new treatment, there are real people, real stories, and a shared commitment to improving human health.
Beautifully said. Clinical trials are more than just scientific studies. They're stories of hope, resilience, and the unwavering pursuit of a healthier future for all of us.
And speaking of the future, let's dive into what's on the horizon for UC treatment.
Okay.
We've talked about Talisocubart
Yeah.
and the potential of personalized medicine.
Right.
What other exciting developments are in the pipeline?
There's a lot to be excited about.
Okay.
Researchers are exploring a wide range of new approaches.
Right.
From targeted therapies that aim to disrupt specific inflammatory pathways to microbiome-based therapies that focus on restoring a healthy balance of bacteria in the gut.
The gut microbiome is such a hot topic these days.
It is.
What's the connection to UC?
Well, it's becoming increasingly clear that the trillions of bacteria that live in our gut play a crucial role in regulating our immune system and maintaining gut health.
Okay.
And in people with UC, there's often an imbalance in the gut microbiome.
Got it.
With an overgrowth of harmful bacteria and a depletion of beneficial ones.
So the idea is...
Exactly. Researchers are investigating different ways to manipulate the gut microbiome.
Okay.
Including fecal microbiota transplantation, FMT, probiotics, and prebiotics.
FMT. That's the one where they transplant a healthy stool from a donor, right?
That's the one.
Okay.
It might sound a bit unconventional, but it's actually showing promising results for some people with UC.
Wow.
The idea is to introduce beneficial bacteria from a healthy donor into the gut of someone with UC.
Right.
Hopefully restoring a healthy balance and reducing inflammation.
It's amazing to think about the potential of harnessing the power of our own gut bacteria to treat disease.
It is. It's a fascinating field, and it holds a lot of promise for UC and other inflammatory bowel diseases.
What about other targeted therapies?
Sure.
Are there any new drugs on the horizon that specifically target those inflammatory pathways we talked about earlier?
Absolutely. There's a whole pipeline of new drugs in development that aim to block specific molecules involved in the inflammatory cascade.
Right.
Hopefully providing more precise and effective treatments with fewer side effects.
So it's about finding the right tools for the job.
Exactly.
Targeting the specific culprits that are driving the inflammation in each individual's case.
Exactly. It's all about moving away from a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
And tailoring treatments to individual needs and characteristics.
And that brings us back to personalized medicine.
Yes.
It seems like that's the holy grail of UC treatment.
It is.
The ability to predict who will respond best to which treatment, and minimize the trial and error process.
You're absolutely right. Personalized medicine is the future of healthcare, and UC treatment is no exception.
It's exciting to think about all the advancements that are happening in this field.
Yeah.
It gives hope to millions of people around the world who are living with UC and other inflammatory bowel diseases.
It's a hopeful time indeed
with
the continued dedication of researchers.
Right.
Healthcare professionals, and patients participating in clinical trials.
Right.
We are on a path towards more effective, personalized, and ultimately curative treatments for UC.
It's incredible to think about how far we've come in UC treatment.
Oh, it really is.
But it's clear that there's still so much more to discover.
Absolutely. We've made significant strides, but the journey is far from over.
Right.
The quest for better treatments and ultimately a cure for UC, well, it continues.
And that's where the importance of clinical trials really shines, right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
They're the engine that drives progress in medical research.
They are. Clinical trials are the cornerstone of medical advancement. They allow us to rigorously test new treatments, gather crucial data on safety and effectiveness, and ultimately determine which therapies are the most promising for patients.
We've talked a lot about the benefits of participating in clinical trials for patients. But I'd love to hear your perspective on the benefits for the broader medical community and for society as a whole.
It's a ripple effect, really.
Okay.
The knowledge gained from clinical trials, it extends far beyond the individual participants.
Right.
It informs treatment guidelines, shapes medical education, and inspires further research, leading to a collective improvement in healthcare for everyone.
It's like each trial adds a piece to the puzzle.
Yeah, like a puzzle piece.
Helping us build a more complete picture of the disease and how to treat it effectively.
Precisely. And the more pieces we have,
the
clearer the picture becomes.
Right.
Leading to more targeted, effective, and personalized treatments for UC and other conditions.
And speaking of personalized medicine, we touched on the use of genetic testing in the Artemis UC trial.
We did.
But I'm curious, how do you see personalized medicine evolving in the future of UC treatment?
Personalized medicine is poised to revolutionize how we approach UC care. Imagine a future where we can analyze an individual's genetic makeup, gut microbiome, and other factors to predict which treatment is most likely to be effective for them.
Right.
Minimizing the trial and error process and maximizing positive outcomes.
That sounds like science fiction, but it's becoming more and more of a reality.
It is. Advancements in genomics, data analytics, and artificial intelligence are rapidly accelerating the field of personalized medicine.
Wow.
And for UC patients, this could mean a future with more targeted therapies, fewer side effects, and a better chance of achieving long-term remission.
It's an incredibly hopeful outlook, but as we look ahead, I'm wondering, what are some of the challenges that researchers face in developing new UC treatments?
UC is a complex disease with a variety of contributing factors, which makes it challenging to develop treatments that work for everyone. Additionally, the immune system is, it's intricate, and modulating it without causing unintended consequences requires a delicate balance.
It's like trying to fine-tune a complex machine without throwing off the entire system.
Exactly, but despite the challenges, researchers are making incredible progress. They're constantly uncovering new insights into the underlying mechanisms of UC and exploring novel therapeutic targets, paving the way for more effective and personalized treatments.
It's a reminder that scientific progress is rarely a straight line.
Right.
It's a winding road with twists, turns, and unexpected detours.
Absolutely.
But the unwavering dedication of researchers, driven by a shared goal of improving human health, keeps us moving forward.
I couldn't agree more. The passion, creativity, and resilience of the scientific community are truly inspiring. They face setbacks with determination, learn from failures, and celebrate victories, all in the pursuit of a healthier future for those affected by UC.
And as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of UC research, I think it's important to acknowledge